Hello and welcome back to Bits and Bobs. Today's video is all about the 1824 half sovereign coin. First up, we'll have a look and talk about the design of the coin, and then we'll move on to the facts and figures of this coin. So then, the design. Here is the reverse, and we see a royal shield. This royal shield is crowned with the St. Edward's crown at the top, and within the royal shield is a Hanoverian shield, and that shield is also crowned. Either side of the shield we see the words Anno and then the date 1824, which is of course when this coin was struck. Under the shield we can see the thistle of Scotland, the rose of England, and the shamrock for Northern Ireland, representing the different parts of the UK. Wales is not represented here for the same reason it's not represented on the Union flag. This is because it is considered an integral part of the United Kingdom at this time. There is also milling around the edge of the coin to stop clipping, as this is a milled and not hammered coin. So now let's flip the coin over and have a look at the obverse of the coin, or the head side. It's called heads of course because the main thing is the portrait of the monarch. And here is a portrait of George IV. This portrait was done by Benedetto Pastucci, and you can see the initials BP under the king's neck. The king is featured facing left, wearing a laureate crown, not a metal or royal normal standard crown, and has detailed hair, which is good for the technology at the time. The legend reads Georgius IV DG Britannia Rex FD, and translates from Latin to George IV by the grace of God, King of Britain and Defender of the Faith. This is the first portrait of George IV, and the portrait changed in the latter half of 1825. So, now we've had a look at the design, we'll cover the facts and figures of the 1824 half sovereign. So firstly, this coin was minted at the Tower Hill Mint in London, where the Royal Mint was based between 1810 and 1975. The coin was struck to a weight of 3.99 grams, and was composed of 0.917 or 22 karat gold, meaning 22 parts per 24 parts were gold, and the rest was other alloys and even some silver included in the coin. The pure gold weight of the coin though, just the gold alone, is 3.6575 grams, meaning the half sovereign contains quite a generous amount of gold. The diameter of the coin is 19.3 millimeters, slightly bigger than the sixpence coin, for reference, and the thickness of the coin is 0.99 millimeters, which is, indistinguishable from a millimeter thick, which is still though quite a thin coin. The coin, interestingly, is still a legal tender. Almost 200 years after being made, the coin is still worth half of a pound, which is 50 pence in today's money, although I would strongly advise against spending one. Now the mintage of this coin is 591,538, meaning it is quite a rare coin with a sub-million mintage, almost half of a million in fact, making it, especially after all those years, a harder one to find. A half sovereign, by the way, is worth 120 pence back in the day, which is 10 shillings or half of a pound. As it was a half sovereign, a sovereign was a pound, and there's 20 shillings and 240 pence to that pound. But back in 1824, a half sovereign was equal to 70 pounds and 23 pence in today's money, much more than sort of 50p. And in fact, a half sovereign could have bought a lot of things, as can 70 pounds and 23 pence today. But speaking of today, what is the current value of the coin for collectors? Well, let's find out. One in poor condition with a lot of wear will sell for around £500, which is still a lot of money. In very fine condition with more details being visible, up to £800, and if you're lucky enough to have one in uncirculated or almost uncirculated quality, they can fetch up to £2,000. But regardless of value, I'm sure we can all appreciate this as a lovely and historic coin. Comment down below if you're lucky enough to have an 1824 half sovereign. And while you're there, of course, please do subscribe if you have not already, as we truly appreciate all of our subscribers, and we also appreciate you for watching. So thank you, and we hope to see you again on the channel. Goodbye from Bits and Bobs.